The question for our assignment is, Ali is an officer working at Manggis Serdan Berhad. He received a letter saying that a disciplinary hearing would be held against him for poor work conduct. The letter did not explain the details of the allegations, so the issue here is whether Ali should be given an adequate notice for the disciplinary hearing held against him. Next, the hearing was supposed to take place 3 days after the notice was served. Ali inquired the department for more information about the charge and requested more time to prepare for the hearing, but his request was denied. Now, the issue here is whether Ali should be given an adequate time for the disciplinary hearing held against him. During the hearing, Ali was not shown the documents used against him and was not given a proper chance to explain his side of story. After the hearing, Ali was suspended for the work for 2 months. No reasons were given for the decisions, so the issue here is whether Ali should be shown the documents used against him. Ali is unhappy with the decisions and wants to know whether the department has breached the rules of natural justice. So the first issue is adequate notice. Whether Ali should be given an adequate notice for the disciplinary hearing against him. Natural justice is a procedure used to safeguard the citizen against improper exercise of power by public authorities. It is a fair administrative procedure to be followed by the administrative body in arriving at the right decisions. Notice is vital requirement of the right of hearing, must be served or given before proceeding. The second issue is adequate time, whether Ali should be given an adequate time for the disciplinary hearing held against him. Natural justice is a procedure used to safeguard the citizen against improper exercise of power by public authorities. It is a fair administrative procedure to be followed by the administrative body in arriving at a right decision. Notice is a vital requirement of the right of hearing. It must be served or given before proceeding. The third issue is disclosure of evidence, whether Ali should be shown the document used against him. Natural justice is just a procedure used to safeguard the citizen against improper exercise of power by public authorities. It is a fair administrative procedure to be followed by the administrative body in arriving at a right decisions. According to Lord Morris in Rich versus Baldwin said that the essential requirement of natural justice at least include that before someone is condemned, he is to have an opportunity of defending himself. Under natural justice, an adjudicatory body should not make a decision adverse to a party without affording him an effective opportunity to adequately meeting all the allegations against him and presenting his own case.
The legal principle for notice must be adequate. It's a statement of time, place, and nature of the hearing. Next, a statutory or other authorities under which the hearing is held. Lastly, legal and factual issues which will be discussed. In the case of Perkayon OKS number 2 Serdan Berhad v Kelantan SADC, the court held the particulars set out in the notice cannot be vague or too generalized. It must be sufficiently applicable as to enable him to understand the case against him. The legal principle for time must be adequate or sufficient in time. It should be give sufficient time and reasonable opportunity to the affected person to prepare his defense. In the case of Pamo Shin v Commissioner of Police, the plaintiff challenges dismissal from the police force for breach of natural justice. He was informed of the charge for the first time before hearing. A copy of the charge was never given to him. The postponement request by the plaintiff to prepare his defense was not granted. So the court squashed the proceeding, saying the dismissal was unlawful because insufficient notice of the charge against him and no opportunity to defend himself. The legal principle is disclosure of evidence, that all evidence relied upon by the public authority must be disclosed to the affected person. For example, all incriminating evidence available to the community must be made available to the affected person. The affected person must know what evidence has been given and what statement has been made affecting him. Under the principle of natural justice, all evidence, when written or oral, that implicates the affected person must be made known to him automatically. The purpose is to give him an opportunity to comment, criticize, explain, or rebut the matter. For example, to defend himself. In the case of Pa Mo Shin v. Commissioner of Police, the inquiry officer was having the files, service sheets, personal records, investigation paper, and papers relating his conduct, and never disclosed to Pa Mo Shin during the inquiry. The court held that there was a breach of natural justice. The dismissal order was quashed because he was not given an opportunity to explain the content of the documents.
In this case, Ali's letter did not explain the details of the allegation that did not enable him to understand the case against him. Even when he inquired for details of his charge, he was refused, which is against the rule of natural justice of adequate notice to the accused. Due to this, Ali was not able to understand the nature of the charge used against him. In this case, Ali's notice was given 3 days before the hearing, which was not adequate time for Ali to prepare himself. Due to this, he requested more time to prepare before the date of the hearing. His request was then refused, which runs against the rules of natural justice, where the accused is supposed to be given adequate time before the hearing. In this case, Ali was not shown the proper evidence and documents used against him during or before the hearing. Denying Ali's request would mean that there was no disclosure of evidence, which is unfair to Ali as he cannot defend himself because he himself is unaware of what to defend himself from.
So for the conclusion, the first one is adequate notice. In conclusion, the particulars set out in the notice cannot be vague or too generalized. It must be sufficient, explicit as to enable him to understand the case against him. Second is adequate time. In conclusion, the court quashed the proceedings, saying the dismissal was unlawful because of insufficient notice of the charge against him and no opportunity to defend himself. And last conclusion is disclosure of evidence. In conclusion, there was a breach of natural justice. The dismissal order was quashed before he was not given an opportunity to explain the contents of the documents. To conclude everything, hence the court held that the department has breached the rule of natural justice against Ali. Therefore, Ali can bring the matter to the court and ask for disciplinary decision to be cancelled.